Today we're gonna listen to The Awakening, which is actually the longest song of this EP. What's gonna awaken, you might ask? Well, I don't know. Join me and together we might find out. Come on. Oh, we have a lot of vibes of Alsatia again. Holy moly, there's a lot to appreciate here. So first of all, I want to shift the focus on how many like mood or pattern changes we have here. I don't even know what terminology to use for this, but there's so many switches until we reach the end of the chorus here. That's freaking insane, dude. We kind of revisited some aesthetic themes of Alsatia. It has a similar mood in some regards, but I would say all in all, it sounds way more, you know, elegant and operatic and spacious through that aspect. Of course, we have this extremely beautiful intro here. It also introduces a pretty nice melody, actually. And then swirls a bit around, but I think that might be some motif of some sorts. Has a very nice romantic neoclassical sound. And then I think this moment of silence and this explosion from the instrumental, I would categorize that as a jump scare actually, but it is more of an elegant, aesthetically pleasing character. It rolls over you, right? It's like... Here we have this very cool lead melody. It has really strong vibes. There's a bit of wicked words from Yamabi. Reminds a bit of, it might be like Silent Revelation had a bit of this. It's supposed to have a bit of an uncanny character, but it's like not in a very serious way. It's kind of a bit cartoonish. They had to switch from the subtle, more nasty thing to the second part of the verse, where everything opened up. With the gallop. Then another progression. The piano coming back in. And then another build-up. I really love how the melody of this chorus balances. It starts off with a pretty bland neoclassical idea, but in the way it progresses, kind of balances it out with pretty cool elements, which genuinely sound good. And also the double pedals help a lot in the background. Like all in all, that's a pretty damn cool chorus, I must say. Here with this, and now it starts back again. That's so cool. Back in the intro, and the strings sound really good here as well. Yuki does a good job here. Oh, I like that. So cool. Bit of tapping, I guess. Whoa! You hear the bass. Now the keyboard is joining in. Oh, we have this idea from earlier. Oh. Have a bit like dancing character to it. Keyboard solo. Oh, with the blues coming back in. It's still not stopping. Whoa. I mean, as I kind of suggested through my descriptions, I know this song, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't remember. First of all, I think what kills me in this is especially like how long the solo is. That the reason why the song is so long is because the solo section is so long. It's like they really take you on a journey here. We of course experience in extremes later on in like Angel of Salvation, which feels like one long guitar and keyboard solo, or like, you know, The Force of Courage and whatever. I hope you don't mind if we're gonna listen to this whole thing again. The bass line again is so cool. And then we have these 3 layers. All 3 instruments are playing this tapping part. The drums also sound really good in this. They sound so heavy. And this is where it starts to get really cool. It's really atmospheric in a certain way. For some reason, it's really interesting to me when they're playing solo parts, which doesn't sound like they're designed to be in the foreground. They have these melodies which sound kind of backgroundish, but still pretty good. You see what I mean, right? I mean, here's still this lead riff type of thing, but now it diverges from it. And I think the keyboard part is my favorite. Joining together again. Still with the same idea. Thrown in some blue notes. And this is just like a really cool combination. It has a bit of that sound we have in this Destiny album. What's it called? Resurrection? This like really dramatic culmination where we have a bit of like bluesy shredding, but also this very intense emotion in the background. This feels very much like home to me as a like strong Galneryus fan. That's so good. The piano sounds so sparkling, I don't know. Okay, I like the chorus a lot actually. We're being pulled back in again into this mystical atmosphere here. Oh, hitting the last note with the wah. Oh, it sounds so big also. just had this wall of sound from the keyboard then in the end. I just realized at this point that they really have reached this sound of theirs, which just sounds so elegant and operatic. I really like that about this band. And just before we hit the lyrics, I wanted to listen to that last wah again because it was so funny. It's really what Yuki's playing there also in the background. It adds so much tension. You cannot put this into words. You just have to listen to this on like good speakers or headphones. And I've seen there's lives on YouTube, and I suppose I actually even have a live Blu-ray I haven't watched yet. So I would be extremely excited to watch this as a live as well, or like even seeing it live if they even play stuff like this at this point. Yeah, but now to the lyrics. As you might have realized, there's a lot of Japanese here again, so we have to translate because I cannot read kanji. In solitude, I keep praying for the day this nightmare ends. If I must compare it, it's like bonds forgotten, blood relatives who slit each other's throats together. Jeez, calm down, man. Okay, wait a second. What did I even read here? In solitude, I keep praying. Yeah, okay, so we have the solitude theme again, and I'm hoping, right? I'm praying for the day this nightmare ends. We can just assume, like, based on what's come before, what this nightmare might be. Again, we had this separation theme, so it has to be in combination with that. And it's also interesting because the EP started off with, like, we're fleeing into a fantasy, and the fantasy already was pretty uncanny to begin with, right? I mean, it's an interesting thing to put into your song lyrics, if I must compare it. Well, yeah, blood relatives who slit each other's throats together. That's an interesting image. And I think, you know, if you would just like think about it, it probably goes very far back where those societal structures weren't that strongly established, and where it just happened that even relatives killed each other for whatever reason. Yes, who should I blame? I understand nothing. No one notices. The rope of the age goes slack, which this is an English line, by the way. Yes, who should I blame? This again implies this being alone theme, because you wouldn't ask yourself that if there was someone to blame, obviously. No one notices. There was a theme of silent suffering where we also had this no one notices in an earlier song. So it's probably resembling a certain earlier song. I cannot remember which one it was though. I have the suffering within me, and no one notices. The rope of the age goes slack. Yeah, you still have a lot of with this. We're looking back in time to a way earlier ancient period or whatever. I think you kind of get this feeling of being pulled into this ancient narrative again, which we also had in Beyond the End of Despair. I think there it was kind of a pretty strong idea aesthetically. Oh, and actually this should be, if I'm not mistaken, the chorus already. Awaiting the day of awakening, oh fleeting life, shattered with lament. Is it lament or lament? I don't know. Those chains, may they sprout. In every human heart, I have no intention of letting go. This feeling. So we have this very old school lingo with this oh and and this feeling, and picking up like classical themes. The day of awakening, again, like callback to Beyond the End of Despair, where there was an awakening happening as well. Those chains, may they sprout in every human heart. Interesting imagery, actually. Why would those chains sprout in every human heart? Like, what's your intention here? Well, I have no intention of letting go. Oh, okay. It seems to be a very conflicted state they're outlining here, where they don't want to let go of something. They realize they are in a bad, nightmarish state of suffering, right? But they still have no intention of letting go. And they kind of have this vision of those chains they restrict themselves with, as far as I understand it, that they sprout in every human heart, so that everyone is restricted the same way, so I don't have to let go. Kind of that's what I get of this, right? I don't know if this is the next verse. Might be. Lost forever in the void, will this deed become a sin? If I must compare it, yeah, it might be the next verse. To straying from the path, we are travelers falling together into the abyss. Straying from the path, we have the sin theme, the void and the abyss. Yeah, I mean, this sums it up pretty well, if I must compare it. So they have this allegory here at the end always, which spells it out a bit. If I must compare it, we're travelers straying from the path and we're falling together into the abyss. And I think the emphasis really is on this together here. That's just like the central theme, I suppose. So then we have again this, the rope of age goes slack. Yeah, no one can be blamed. Nothing changes. No one notices. The rope of age goes slack. We have this determination coming in here. So there is a progression in their attitude here. They're getting more certainty in their own assessment of the situation. We want to look if the chorus has switched in any way. Awaiting the day I awaken. Yes, it has. So they're waiting for their own awakening. Before we were just talking about an awakening, but it's about their own awakening. It's cool that they put this in the second chorus here. Pitiful life shattered with a cry. Ah, this tragedy may it sprout in every person's heart. I have no intention of letting go. This tragedy may it sprout in every person's heart. So we really have this vicious intention of spreading your own suffering onto everyone else. And this might be why the verse also, you know, is sung and designed in this rather wicked kind of way. It broods this dark intention. Another verse, pretty long song. Between the ages, a lamp defying the wind. If it begins here, I'll never lose it again. Yeah, I like the focus on the ages here. On one layer, you might read it as the situation of one person, right? But also, I think what I get with this character and also with the sound of the music, it's also allegorically putting it on a really long time frame, like from ancient times to now, you know, between the ages. A lamp defying the wind. Also interesting. We have this, how light interacts with the wind. That I don't know if that makes any sense physics wise, but metaphorically it certainly does something, especially because the wind also with Galneryus works a lot of times in a sense that it carries the light away. So as a metaphor for passing time, for example, if it begins here, I'll never lose it again. We're talking about a beginning here. Feeling nothing, just drifting along. Yes, who should I blame? I understand nothing. No one notices. The rope of age goes slack. So far, I really enjoy this lyrics. Just wanted to mention. I think it's very... I don't know for Japanese people if this is like just cheesy stuff, but like translated, I can only see what I can see here. And I think it's pretty poetic, actually, and interesting. Awaiting the day I awaken. Oh, fleeting life, shattered with lament. All those chains made it brought. Yeah, this is the first chorus again with the chains. And then we just do the last part here. Between the ages, a flame defying the wind. So it's not just a lamp anymore. It's like it has spread into a flame. If this is where return, the woes, fire cannot be extinguished. And also if we have this spreading fire here, and I mentioned before, like we have this swelling up and raising up character at the end of like certain parts of the song. And it also reminds again of Beyond the End of Despair. So I think we might have a lot of parallels here with this awakening theme in general. And we also have the fire spreading here, which was a pretty strong theme. Until the age is shattered, a soul that keeps telling its tale. If this is where it begins, I will never lose it again. Oh, that's such a cool way to end this also. We have a lot of this, if this is where it, you know, if this is where return, if this is where it begins throughout the song. And then we have this answer to that, I will never lose it again. And also until the age is shattered, you know, because we have this between the ages all the time. So we have this last part which like concludes everything which was repeated throughout the song. That's just nice. I really like stuff like that. That's so cool. A soul that keeps telling its tale. Also vibes a lot. And then just like, this is just the lyrics, right? And then with the sound of the music, if I was Japanese and would understand this, if it was sung, like I probably would go crazy. This is such a good song, actually. Really appreciate it. Okay, fellow people, I don't want to make any promises. I realized the gaps between the videos were a bit longer. Of course, I'm trying my best to get the episodes coming in a somewhat normal schedule again. And of course, I want to listen to that stuff. And I think it adds a lot also to do these reactions and to look at it a bit more closely. So I hope you enjoyed this episode today. Next time, we've already reached the end of the EP with Cause Disarray, another song I'm really excited for. Hope to see you then.